Let me tell you something. Your life isn't waiting. It's happening right now. Every single day you wake up, you're either getting closer to the person you want to become or drifting further away. There's no neutral. There's no pause button. Life keeps moving whether you're ready or not. Most people spend years waiting for a moment that never comes, waiting for motivation, waiting for clarity, waiting for the fear to disappear. But here's the truth. Waiting is the slowest form of self-sabotage. You don't need more time. You need more courage to use the time you already have. The biggest lie we've been told is that we'll feel ready one day, that some magical moment will appear where everything finally makes sense and confidence just shows up like a switch turning on. But readiness doesn't come before action. It comes after. You earn it through motion, through momentum. The reason your life feels stuck isn't because you're lazy or broken. It's because you're living in the gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it. That gap is where fear lives. That's where overthinking grows roots. And every day you stay there, your dreams shrink just a little more. So I want you to imagine this. What if you stopped asking, how will this work out? And started asking, what can I do right now? What if today wasn't just another day of thinking about it, but the day you decided to move, to try, to risk failing forward? Because when you stop waiting for permission, you start building power, the kind that doesn't come from luck or talent, but from showing up again and again, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. You want to know what separates those who make it from those who don't? It's not brilliance. It's not timing. It's ownership. They stopped negotiating with their excuses. They started betting on themselves. And that's where the shift begins. Your life is a reflection of what you tolerate. Not what you deserve, not what you dream about, but what you tolerate. The habits you repeat, the people you keep around, the standards you accept. That's the mirror. You can't outrun your own patterns. You can't out-hustle a mindset that keeps you small. You can't expect peace when your choices are built on avoidance. So many of us wake up every day angry at circumstances. The job that drains us, the relationship that feels one-sided, the body that doesn't feel like home. But if we're being real, it's not the world that needs to change first. It's you. And that's not criticism. That's power. Because when you realize you're the common denominator in your own story, you stop playing the victim and start becoming the author. You stop blaming the storm and start learning how to steer through it. Here's the hardest part. Looking at yourself honestly hurts. It's uncomfortable to admit that your procrastination has a cost, that your lack of discipline is stealing opportunities, that your fear of failure has already been quietly failing you for years. But you can't transform what you won't confront. The moment you face the truth, you take back control, because now you can do something about it. You can break patterns. You can raise standards. You can rebuild. When you decide to look in the mirror, not to judge yourself, but to meet yourself, that's when everything starts to make sense. You see that you've had the power all along. You just kept handing it away to other people, to circumstances, to excuses. Stop waiting for someone else to choose you. Choose yourself. Every morning, every decision, every setback. Because self-respect isn't a feeling. It's a decision you repeat until it becomes who you are. You want the world to treat you better? Treat yourself better first. You want different results? Lie by different rules. Let's get something straight. Motivation is unreliable. It's a feeling, not a strategy. You can't build a meaningful life on something that disappears the moment you don't feel like doing the work. The people who don't wait to feel ready, they've learned the art of doing it anyway. Discipline isn't punishment. It's self-respect in motion. It's the voice inside you that says, I don't want to, but I will. It's the quiet daily decision to keep promises to yourself even when nobody's watching. Every time you say you'll do something and you actually do it, you build evidence that you can trust yourself. And that's the foundation of confidence. Not affirmations, not luck, not waiting for inspiration. Confidence comes from action repeated over time. But here's where most people get stuck. They confuse comfort with happiness. They think avoiding discomfort equals peace. It doesn't. It equals stagnation. Growth demands discomfort. Discipline demands discomfort. Every new level of your life will require a stronger version of you, and that version will only show up when you stop running from what's hard. You want to feel proud? Earn it. You want momentum? Create it. You want change? Choose it again and again, even when you're tired, scared, or uncertain. That's how transformation happens, one unglamorous, consistent choice at a time. And yes, there will be days you want to quit. There will be mornings you don't see progress. There will be moments when the voice of doubt screams louder than your goals. That's normal. But remember this, discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about refusing to give up when it's messy. You keep showing up because the act of showing up is the proof that you're changing. That's the secret. Discipline isn't the opposite of freedom. It's the doorway to it. Because the more control you take over your choices, the more freedom you create in your life. So stop chasing motivation. Start honoring your word. Because if you can't trust yourself to follow through, who else will? We live in a world that's louder than ever. Everyone's talking, posting, judging, comparing. And somewhere in all that noise, you lose the sound of your own voice. You start measuring your worth by likes, your progress by someone else's timeline, your dreams by society's checklist. And before you know it, you're living a life that looks good but feels empty. Let's be real. Most of the pressure you feel doesn't even belong to you. It's inherited, projected, downloaded from a world that profits off your self-doubt. Every scroll, every ad, every highlight reel whispers, you're behind, you're not enough, you need more. But you don't need more, you need less. Less noise, less distraction, less validation seeking. The moment you stop letting external voices dictate your internal direction, everything shifts. Because clarity doesn't come from the outside, it's quiet. It lives inside you, waiting for space to speak. And you can't hear it if your mind is always cluttered with comparison. You have to learn the discipline of disconnection. That means turning off the world sometimes so you can tune into yourself. It means saying no to the people, habits, and patterns that drain you, even when they've been part of your life for years. It means understanding that protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's strategic. When you focus on yourself, you start noticing how much energy you've wasted trying to control what was never yours to control. Other people's opinions, their reactions, their pace. None of that is your responsibility. Your only job is to show up as your best, not their definition of it, but yours. And let me tell you something. When you stop chasing approval, you become unstoppable. Because now every decision you make comes from alignment, not anxiety. You stop reacting and start creating. You stop performing and start living. So take a deep breath. Step back from the noise. Reclaim your attention. Because your focus is your power, and whoever controls it controls you. And when you finally take it back, that's when you start seeing your life fall into place. Let's talk about what comes next. Let's talk about pain, the part no one likes to discuss. Because behind every strong person, there's a version of them that had no choice but to grow through what hurt. Pain is not your enemy. It's your teacher. And if you stop running from it, it will show you exactly who you are and what you're capable of. We spend so much of our lives trying to avoid discomfort. We numb it, distract from it, push it down, pretend it doesn't exist. But pain ignored becomes suffering prolonged. What you resist, you repeat. And what you face, you free. Every setback you survived wasn't punishment. It was preparation. That heartbreak taught you boundaries. That failure built resilience. That betrayal showed you who deserved a seat in your life and who didn't. Pain doesn't destroy you. Denial does. Because when you deny your wounds, you deny your growth. Your struggle is not what's holding you back. Your attachment to it is. The story you tell yourself about why it happened, how unfair it was, how it broke you, that's what keeps you stuck. But the moment you choose to rewrite the narrative, that pain becomes fuel. It becomes a catalyst. It becomes your evidence that you can handle hard things. Because when you walk through fire and survived, you stop fearing the heat. You start realizing your power. You start trusting your strength. You stop apologizing for your past and start using it to propel you forward. Every scar on your heart is proof that you've lived, that you've risked, that you've tried, and that you've grown. Don't hide them, honor them. They're the roadmap to your evolution. You don't need to erase your pain to move on. You need to learn from it. Let it build wisdom instead of walls. Let it make you softer, not smaller. Let it deepen your empathy without dimming your fire. Because the truth is, Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. And when you finally learn to turn pain into power, you don't just heal, you rise. And that's where the transformation really begins. There comes a moment in every person's life when you realize this. No one is coming to save you. Not your boss, not your partner, not the universe, not someday. If your life has been changed, it's going to be because you changed it. Do you enjoy this motivational fire? Kindly give us a like and comment below on what you have learned from this motivation. Also, subscribe to our channel to encourage us to bring you more motivating videos. See you in the next video.